Hi everyone, I'm Ellie. I'm one of the Get Out Get Active activators at the University of Leeds, and I'm here to talk to you today about how to warm up properly and the importance of avoiding injury. So given the current circumstances, a lot of people are taking up running as an activity they can do once a day that doesn't require any equipment, and this is really great. However, it is really important to make sure, especially if you're a new runner, that you warm up properly. I'm one of the coaches that have been coaching the Couch to 5K cohorts from last semester and this semester, and I thought it would be really useful to impart some good warm-up knowledge onto you so you can get out, get active, but do it healthily and safely. So first of all, warming up should pretty much involve a lot of dynamic movements, and I always think about starting from the top of the body and moving down. So I first of all start off with some arm circles. If you want to jog on the spot whilst you do this as well, just to get the heart rate up a little bit more, that's good too. And moving the arms backwards. If you've got any injuries, you've just got to be mindful of these, especially in the shoulders. You can make the circles smaller if you want to move the hands onto the shoulders. You can try going in different directions if you want to get your brain working a little bit more. And then think about coming across laterally for a different range of movement. People often forget to warm up the shoulders, but they are actually something that get quite stiff whilst you're running. And then I move on to working the lower body a little bit more. So some high knees are always really good. You want your knees coming up as high as possible, and you want to make sure that your hands aren't coming down to your knees, as your knees are coming up to your hands. And then some kickbacks. So just flicking the heels up to the back as high up as possible. You should feel the heart rate coming up a little bit more now. Moving to some star jumps to get the full body going. And then some more dynamic movements which are a little bit more like stretching. So we'll do kind of stretching down the back of the legs, moving forward, sweeping down. We're not holding these movements, but we are doing them nice and controlled, like so. And then you can do some lunges. Again, not holding, but just moving, nice and dynamically, just to get the muscles warm. So after you've done those, you should feel a little bit warmer, your heart rate is raised, and you feel ready to start getting on with your run. I'm going to get on my run now. I hope this is really helpful. Have a lovely day and get out, get active. I just completed my run, so now I'm going to take you through one of the cool downs that I regularly do when I finish my runs. This is again really important to avoid injury, but also to bring the heart rate down after a run and make sure that your muscles aren't tight, especially if you're a new runner. So what I tend to do is work again from the top down when I'm stretching out. Now, unlike warming up, you really want to be holding these for a little bit longer, but not too long. So you're looking around 10 seconds to hold each of these stretches. They're not dynamic, these are static stretches, so you should really be pushing into them and breathing through so you can feel the stretch. So first of all, we're going to start with the shoulders. So I bring one arm across, and what a lot of people tend to do with this is to hunch up at the shoulders and pull up. What you want to do is pull down and across. You want this feeling nice and long here, and you want to feel the stretch on this portion of the muscle. So you just want to hold that for up to 10 seconds, and then just changing arms again. You want to pull down and across, and you should feel the tension just coming down here like that. Nice. And then you want to move into the triceps, so you want to really be putting the arm down the spine. If you can hold on to the other arm and help it to pull you down. If not, just reach as far as you can. And then the other arm. Often people tend to be more flexible in one arm than the other arm. So that's just something to think about when you're performing these stretches. Nice, and then we will move down into the lower half of the body. So an area that a lot of people find they get quite tight in when they run is the calf muscles. So a really good stretch is the lunge. So your static lunge, you want to have both your feet parallel, facing forward and flat on the floor. So this is what it looks like from this angle, and then a side view, So make sure both toes are pointing in the same direction. You then want to make sure that your weight is relatively central, but then you want your knee going directly over your toe, and make sure your back heel is on the floor. And then you should feel that right down the back of the leg, mainly in the calf. And just swapping legs. Weight nice and central, but then pushing over the front toe, back heel down. That's great. And then another one for the calves. This one is a little bit more of a stretch. So you put one foot behind the other foot, and you want to do it about halfway along the front foot. And then you just want to hinge over at the hips. You want the hands to go towards the front toe, as low as you can, just as is comfortable for you, and you should feel that down the backs of the legs. If you want an extra stretch, you can go towards the back toe, and you should feel that pulling a little bit more. And then the same on the other leg. Just go from this angle. So hinching from the waist, over the top, towards the toe. And then the back toe if you want the extra stretch. Well, we'll think about moving into the hamstrings now. So the best way to look at this one, you want to have one knee bent and one straight, but you want your knees to be around the same level. If you want, you can put one foot flat on the floor. If you're going to put any weight in your leg, you want it in your bent leg. You want to be hinching over at the hips, and you should feel that pulling down this straight leg. If you want the extra stretch, you can put the toe to the sky, lean over the front, you can go towards the floor, but just don't put any weight in this straight leg here. And then the other leg. If you want your hands on the hips, people find that a little bit more stable. And that's that one. Then we'll come on to the quads. So the usual stretch for this one is to pick up one of the feet. Then you want to try and keep the knees together as best as possible. You don't want to be out here or at the back. Knees nice and level. Pull it in to the bum, the back heel into the bum. And if you need someone to balance on, put a hand on a hip, hold on to something else. I always find focusing on a point helps as well. And if you want that extra stretch, you just want to tilt the pelvis forward, like so. So there's just that slight movement where you tilt the pelvis forward. You should feel it pull more down the front of the leg, but still trying to keep the knees together. And that should be a nice strong stretch. Also pulls a little bit into the hip flexor, but not too much. Just shake that out, and then the other leg. And then just tilting that pelvis forward if you want the extra stretch. Nice. We'll just do some lateral lunges now, so this will stretch out, find the inner thigh, and just leaning over, so you've got both your feet facing forward, but your weight is coming over this leg onto the bent leg, and then the other side. Nice. And then one to do, especially if you're at home or you've got a soft surface underneath you, especially is something that a lot of runners struggle with, which is tight hip flexors. So you want to bring one knee to the ground. You can do this without touching the ground as well, but it just takes a little bit of the pressure off. And you want to stay up nice and straight, so you don't want to be coming over like this. You want your weight to be in the middle, but then you just tilt your pelvis underneath. So like I said in the other stretch, you just tilt it forwards, and you should feel, it's almost like you're pushing your hips outwards, you're extending them, and you should feel that coming all the way down here. So it's not about moving forward or how far you can get, it's about the tilt of the pelvis. Pulling down here, and then the other leg. Now you can do this hovering, it just means you're holding a little bit more weight. Again, the tilt of the pelvis, pulling down the hip flexor here. And that is my routine that I use after every single run to cool down. I'd really recommend that if you are running, you are making sure you are warming up properly and cooling down properly to prevent any injury. Look after yourselves, go out once a day, and I hope you keep safe.